We are live. Another episode of Power Punchers. We are in the building. JC's in the building. Santeo Media's in the building. If y'all are in the building, let us know in the comment section. Also, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button as you come in. I am joined by D-Style Boxing. What's going on, D-Style?
What's going on, everybody? Ready to drop bombs? This is just a warm-up round, but you know how like round two the engine gets going. Gonna start landing those ganchos al hígado. We're gonna start landing those big overhand rights. Okay, gonna start stumbling people across the boxing landscape. I'm ready for this show. Let's go.
There's gonna be no jabs. There's gonna be nothing but power punches. Much like I think what we're gonna see this weekend,
A
by the
couple of
way.
throwaway jabs, just range finders. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what
George
I mean?
Foreman used to throw that jab a couple inches short of how far he could throw it. I remember him talking about this just so he could lure people in closer to him. I don't know if you ever heard that. He used to throw that jab like 6 inches shorter than he was capable of. So his opponents would come closer to him and he would hammer that
Gauging
right
the
hand.
distance, they're like, oh, "Okay, I got a little more room here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling it, and then before you know, you're waking up. Like Michael Moore, like Michael Moore woke up and just saw lights, bro. He saw the arena and he was like, "Fuck, I just lost to this old man." You know, man. What do you think was the first thing Michael Moore said when he woke up?
He was like, "Man, I gotta face Teddy Atlas now."
Fuck,
Because Teddy was yelling at him already.
he told
Teddy
him
was
to
yelling at
stay
him
away.
already.
He didn't listen.
Teddy was like, "You're getting too lazy. This guy's gonna catch you. You're getting too lazy," and he caught him. So he just didn't listen to Teddy's instructions, and he got
Speaking
caught.
of Teddy, right? Really quick. Speaking of Teddy, he see how he set that better beef has the hardest 6-inch punch in boxing today. And I don't know how he knows that, right? But 6 inches, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Just gets in there, 6 inches. Like Teddy knows it just by looking at it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, the dude has heavy hands, but that's a hell of a statement. You know what I mean? But just want to throw
Right.
that out there.
We got our top 11 Impact Power rankings coming later. We also got boxing trivia coming later. So let's see if Run PMC can get back on the board. He's had a couple tough
Well, we already
losses.
had Penny, I guess, retired as champion. Or like, I don't know what happened.
Penny's retired as champion and rode off into the sunset. We got the GOAT Mario P. Let's see if the GOAT Mario P shows face later on.
Hey, the GOAT was talking some shit about Run PMC too. Like, hey, this dude, he shit, I beat him easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn.
Easy work.
Like, I gave him two. I gave him two just so I could beat him in the end. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Make sure to catch us on Spotify and all that good stuff as well. But we're going to talk about grudge matches, well done grudge matches, as I like to call them. I call them well done because they've been on the oven way too long. And we got one this weekend, Amir Khan, Kell Brook. I like the fight, man. I'm excited about the fight. As long as the matchmaking is good, as long as it makes sense, as long as guys are at the same point in their career. If you look at the trajectory of these two guys' careers, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, you know what's interesting about them is in 2016, both of them stepped up to middleweight and took fights against big middleweight punchers. For Khan, it was Canelo Alvarez. And for Kell Brook, it was Gennady Golovkin. Didn't go well for either of them. Kell Brook got his face broken, literally, and Amir Khan just got completely destroyed. Was boxing well for a little bit, but what happened, what we expected to happen, happened. So their trajectory has been about the same. They've been talking about fighting each other. There's been rumblings since 2005. I mean, these guys have been around. I like the fight because I could see it going either way. I've been thinking in my head that Kell Brook's going to beat Amir Khan and knock him out, but I've heard rumblings that Kell Brook is having problems making weight. So I just don't know what to make of this fight. There are too many moving variables to really pick this fight and put a concrete prediction on it. What's your thoughts? First of all, what's your overall thoughts on this fight?
What will break first? Amir Khan's chin or Kell Brook's eye? Like, that's what makes this fight. Like, tell me this fight isn't intriguing, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you're not intrigued. Tell me. You know what I mean? That's all I want to know. Look, we all know the obvious. We all know that they're washed up. We all know they're not in their prime. We all know that, and maybe washed up is a little too strong of a word, but I don't think it is, right? For these two guys. Here's the thing that they both are. You know what I mean? They're at that same point of their careers together. You know what I mean? This isn't like Rose and Jack, where Rose just hogged the whole board and just let Jack freeze to death and drown. You know what I mean? And now they're both sharing the board. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Titanic sunk already. The good old days are gone, but they're in the board together. Okay, that's what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm intrigued by this fight. I don't know what's going to break first, the chin of Khan or the eye of Kell Brook. I have no idea, and neither do you, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody knows. We could guess. We can have an educated guess for that matter. But we don't really know. All right. I'm intrigued by this fight. I really am. Now, I have no idea how I'm going to watch it. Do you know where it's going to air? In the U.S.?
That's ESPN Plus, correct?
ESPN Plus. Is it Plus?
Or no, it's DAZN. I think it's DAZN.
Man.
Isn't Eddie Hearn's putting on this fight, correct?
No, it's not Eddie Hearn.
It's not. So maybe it's ESPN Plus.
Yeah. So we need to get some cleared, and I need you guys to tell us where they're going to have that fight. By the way, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I like the fight, and I think it's going to be entertaining. That's another aspect of fighting, right? I mean, this is an entertainment business, whether we like it or not, right? And I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. As far as long as it lasts.
Plus. ESPN. I just looked it up.
ESPN Plus. Okay, man, how the mighty have fallen. But that's where the fight's going to be. You get to watch it on your phone. You know what I mean? You guys can go shopping at Walmart and watch this shit on the app. You're good. Afternoon shopping.
You know what's one of the most baffling boxing results to me in recent modern boxing history is we've known for a long time that Amir Khan has a soft chin. It got exposed in 2008. So we've known for a long time. And he got checked a couple times right after that directly. I remember when he fought Marcos Maidana, Amir Khan, and I said, there is no way Amir Khan is lasting 12 rounds with Marcos Maidana. It's not going to happen. Marcos Maidana, all he has to do is catch him with one shot. Amir Khan's a great boxer. Amir Khan is faster, has the jab, better lateral movement. So he'll box circles around Maidana. But what's going to happen is the same prediction I made against Canelo Alvarez is eventually he's going to get caught. And when he does, he's going down. Same prediction I made when he fought Terrence Crawford. It didn't happen against Maidana, which is weird because Maidana, being a pressure fighter, throwing punches from weird angles, and a power puncher, it just seemed like he would have caught this guy, and he didn't. It was just a baffling result for me. And not only did he not catch him, Amir Khan, I don't know if you remember, caught Maidana with a hell of a body shot, hell of a kidney shot, and put him down on the canvas, and almost stopped him. So it's just baffling, and it goes to show you, like, you can't have a concrete prediction and know exactly what's going to happen in boxing when it comes to a big fight. And this fight is like that to me. Like, when I play it out in my head, I think I can't help but think that Kell Brook, the heavier puncher, higher KO percentage. I think he's around 70% KO percentage. I can't help but think he'll catch Khan with something. But at the same time, Kell Brook's chin is compromised at this point as well. And Khan is the better technical boxer. And maybe he has more left in the tank. I don't know. It's a crazy fight to me, and I love it.
Here's what I'll say. I'm going to tell you right now. Amir Khan has a much better record than people think when he's the quote-unquote underdog.
Yeah.
He just does, right? Obviously Canelo knocked him out, but let's just be honest for a moment, okay? I mean, Canelo's knocking out 168 pounders right now, okay? So that one is what it is. I think Canelo would knock out Brook the same way, if I'm honest, right?
Terrence Crawford
knocked him out, right? So I get the whole thing about Khan. Look, he got dropped by lightweights, but he always got dropped with guys that had a sharp punch that he didn't see coming, right? That's how he gets dropped, and that's what Brook has to catch him with, and he can, and he does have that punch. I just think that those both guys, by the way, are messed up. Khan's hand speed he's got blistering hand speed. Khan's hand speed is no joke. Okay, and people forget this guy made Paulie Malignaggi look slow.
Yeah, he did.
Malignaggi's prime. Okay, so he
Good
went in
win.
there.
That's a good win.
That's a really good win because he fought Paulie. I mean, Paulie couldn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like, like, yeah, he was Khan not worried about getting knocked out. He's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but in this fight, the hand speed. I cannot picture this fight in my head without seeing Khan land punches on Brook early on. I just can't. Okay,
yeah, that's true.
And if the eyes start getting messed up, and Khan still has those quick feet, and Brook can't keep up, and then the eyes getting messed up, I predict Khan will stop Brook in the first 5 rounds.
Ooh. Do you think the winner keeps fighting after this?
7. I'll say 7.
Do you think the winner feels like they get a big win here and keeps going?
Unfortunately, yes. They're gonna get a big head like, I'm back. I'm Amir Khan. I felt like I had nothing left, but then I went to the training camp with Bomac and with Crawford, and I feel like I'm young again. I'm young again. Like he's already saying that. Imagine once he beats Brook, he's not gonna shut up, bro. Like the truth is, I'm ready. I'm ready for the best challenges out there. Give me the ring with Errol Spence. Like, no, like go sit down, please.
Yeah. And I did forget, Maidana did have him pretty hurt late in that fight, but he made it to the 12th round. Is Kell Brook going to be able to rehydrate? That's another thing. I'm hearing trouble with the weight, true. But I tell you what, his trainer is drinking his sweat. I don't know. You showed me that. You showed me that yesterday, and I didn't know what to. I don't know what to make of that.
For those that don't know, by the way, like Kell Brook had a long workout. Sparring, hitting mitts, speed back, road work, you know what I mean? In the sauna, he was all sweat. Imagine I took off this Hispanic Cosmic Panic tea, right? And then I poured it in this shit. Just imagine I just get this and I just squeeze it in the cup and then I hand it over to Calix,
Nah.
And he just like,
no.
Like, whoa, brother. And I wanted to believe Calix that it was like a switcheroo, that they switched the cup or that. But no, it's the sweat on that cup. Like, bro, what's the matter with that dude? That's a power punch of the week.
Do you that is, to me, that's nastier than drinking your own urine because it's not yours. That's not yours. Somebody put on Twitter that's going to create another COVID variant.
This is how these variants start. You know what I mean, bro? Like I don't know. I don't think we even know. No one's ever done a study on like what happens when you drink sweat because nobody drinks sweat. You know what I mean? How are you gonna do a study about that?
You can't drink another dude's sweat, right?
Bro, you can't drink another woman's sweat. You can't drink anybody's sweat. Like what's? Yeah. I want you to, after work, I want you to pour it in a glass and give it to your wife. See what she tells you.
You know what? I'm going to do that, and I'm going to film it for you. But we already know.
It might go viral. You never know when she throws it at you or something.
But no, you don't drink another dude's sweat. It was nasty.
Bro, and you know what? You put it perfectly. It wasn't even like fresh sweat. This was the sweat that's been drenched on him on cotton, by the way, like for hours. You know what I mean? Just building up, and it just grabs it with his dirty hands and squeezes it. Like it was colored, like it looked like I don't know. It looked like Clorox, bro. It's almost like the Clorox of the t-shirt. That's another thing. The detergent comes out, like everything with the sweat.
There's so much wrong. There's so much wrong there. So I have a question. Moving on, segueing from that. This is a grudge match that is well done. It's been marinating for way too long. 17 years. Yeah. Some people have been wanting this fight since 2005.
It's like the movie Grudge match, right? Like they're
The movie
old.
Grudge match with De Niro and Sylvester Stallone.
Hey,
So
but is Khan going to show mercy? Like if his eye's messed up, is Khan going to
no,
like
they're not.
not attack that eye because it's not the right thing to do, like in the movie?
No, because this is a real fight, and it's not like Roy fighting Mike Tyson. These guys are active, still considered active fighters, even though they've been inactive. This really counts. There is bad blood here. Kell Brook has always felt like he was underappreciated. Kell Brook has always felt like he was in Amir Khan's shadow. You can see that when they did the face off, and he's almost looking for at Amir Khan like a father figure almost at points. I don't know if you saw it. He's looking for
I
validation from
saw
Amir Khan. It
that.
was
Yeah.
sad. It was sad to watch. So
Oh,
what
if it
makes you
wants it
feel
was
like
your approval. Why do I have your approval, Amir?
right? So
Yeah,
does
you have my approval.
so Amir Khan may have that like big brother advantage coming into this fight as well. Although that didn't work out well for Roy Jones against Antonio Tarver.
Yeah.
But are there any grudge matches you would like to see that have marinated too long? I mean, I got one just throw out there. Juan Manuel Lopez versus Yuriorkis
Oh,
Gamboa never
oh,
happened.
man.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
So there's that
But
one. I'll hit you with
I
this
got
one.
another one. Sergio Martinez is still active. Sergio
What?
against Gennady Golovkin. That never
I
happened.
mean, I still, as washed up as we think Gennady is, he's not there yet. He's not that washed up. You know, like Sergio Martinez is fighting dudes batting 500, and I go into distance with them right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, like, he's doing his thing, but it's against a certain level of opposition. My ultimate grudge match, and I think people would watch it. I really do. It would make. I think they should do like some type of series for it on the lead up to it. I want to see a face off for it. I want to see Victor Ortiz, Brandon Rios,
and Run PMC just put that. That is one. Yeah. I didn't think of that one.
Because just think about it, like, hey, bro, this guy, Rio's hitting my level, bro. Like, he talks like Victor Ortiz, and my motherfucker, this guy's a fucking quitter, eh? Like, it's gonna be like, it's great entertainment. Because let me tell you something, Ortiz has everything on Rios. He's got the size, power, boxing skills. He's got everything. I mean, everything over Rios, except one thing:
mental toughness.
Mental toughness. What's the on mental toughness? There's like subcategories like determination, willingness to die in the ring, like just all these things. And I think he has, obviously, in my opinion, more tolerance for pain than Victor Ortiz.
Right.
But what's going to happen first is Victor going to be able to knock him out before Rios makes him quit? Because I think that's
make him quit.
Well, no, I mean, because it's personal. It's different when you're fighting like a dude, you don't have a personal vendetta against. It's easier to quit that way. But is he going to quit against a dude that's been calling him a quitter? Isn't he going to try to prove him wrong? You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, I'm no quitter, bro. I'm no quitter, bro. You know what I mean?
I got one for you. Calzaghe versus Frach.
So Calzaghe has like gray hair, bro. Like, like Calzaghe. I wouldn't mind if they did a kind of like Roy Jones and Tyson did an exhibition. That's it.
Yeah, because that's like way too marinated, right? Like that's not even edible at this point.
Well, it's like this. I mean, Frach is old. You know what I mean? But then by the way, they both have gray hair, bro. Don't they?
Yeah.
Bro, they both got like full, like they look like Moses when he came down to like the mountain and shit.
Frach got a nose job. Frach got all kind of plastic surgery. He's done.
Oh, he's done. He's done. He ain't gonna fight.
Yeah.
And then with the hand speed of Calzaghe, like, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna fuck up all that plastic surgery.
Yeah. Shout out to Remy. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody out there supporting us. Hit that like button as you come in. And let us know some grudge matches as we go on with the show. I'd tell you a grudge match I like. The GOAT Mario P versus Run PMC.
The champ is here.
The champ is here, and we got Run PMC, who is the pound for pound champ.
Oh,
He's
I
the
thought he was
trophy
going to
count
propose
champ.
some like John Cena versus like Hulk Hogan type shit. You know, the champ is here. You know, like
The champ is here. Yeah, so this is another one I was thinking of earlier, Froch versus Ward 2. But once again, the thing that makes Khan versus Brook interesting to
they never
me
fought.
is
Number
their
one.
career trajectory was the same. And also, they're still close enough to being active. Like they're inactive, but they're still close enough to being active,
Like
right? They were both.
they're both top 15 welterweights.
You think? I don't know
Yeah,
about that. You think?
yeah, I think so. You can name 15 guys you rate over Kell Brook?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I'm not saying the top 10, but okay, top 20, whatever. Like the two top 20 welterweights. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So I mean, like Mayweather Jr., Pacquiao too. I don't want to go through that one again,
Oh, jeez.
but was yeah. I don't know. A lot of people would love that. A lot of people would love that one. I don't know.
The ultimate grudge match. Okay, that was interesting. You know what I mean? I like that one. You know, there's several of them though. You know, like Broner against Floyd.
But that's a wash though. Like to
So,
me,
I
what
said he ate
what makes
cornflakes
the
with water, bro. That's what he told Floyd. I ate
right.
cornflakes with water. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't mess with me.
What makes a grudge match interesting is the trajectory has to be the same. Like they have to be at the same point in their career.
All right,
There
fair
has to
enough.
be there is bad blood there, yeah, but
Yeah, but Floyd's old. He
Floyd
looked
is
that good
old.
against Logan Paul. And Broner is inactive, but he's still closer to active than Floyd.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know?
possibly. He's probably a super middleweight at this point, but Mayweather versus De La Hoya too.
I
On a
mean, shit.
helipad. On a helipad.
On the helipad. You know what? Hey, this one, I think everyone's going to like this one. This is the ultimate grudge match of today. The ultimate one that everybody will watch, and it's a big deal. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
That's a grudge match.
I'd
And
love
it's a
that.
fight I would love to watch.
That's still one of the biggest fights to be made in boxing too. It
Yeah.
is. Even if Anthony Joshua loses to Usyk,
Even if, yeah.
Joshua versus Wilder is still huge.
Preach.
Huge. Huge, especially over there across the
Preach.
pond. Huge. It
It's
sells out a
huge.
stadium. It sells out a
Absolutely.
football stadium. It does. It just does.
Anywhere in the world. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not anywhere, but England for sure. Anywhere in the UK for that matter, for sure. And stateside, I agree.
It sell out the helipad. That's for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Chavez Jr. versus Martinez again.
I don't know about that one. I
Right
don't know
now
about
would
that
be a
one.
good fight. I mean, that'd be like the movie grudge match right now.
Yeah.
I'd watch Chavez Jr. versus Jake Paul. That'd be a good grudge match.
But is it a grudge match?
It's not a grudge match. I would watch it though.
What about this one? What about Eric El Terrible Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera 4?
Ooh. Weren't they doing a podcast together?
Apparently, I don't know how true this is, that they started beefing again. They're not doing the podcast anymore.
I know. I heard that.
And
Let's
when you
make
ask
that.
each one of them, like they asked Eric Morales, he's like, "Well, what happened?" Well, Barrera, you know how he is. What does that mean?
Puto.
Like,
Puto.
you know when two people have a fallout and you ask them, "Well, what happened?" You know how he is. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah, there's always the other guy.
yeah, but it doesn't explain what happened. I'm asking you what happened. I didn't ask you what your opinion about him. Well, that's what happened. He's a fucking moron. Like, okay.
I thought about this one earlier too. Margarito Cotto 3.
What about Angulo versus Margarito?
Angulo versus Margarito is another one. But Margarito Cotto 3 will be an interesting one because there's always going to be some sort of bad blood there, right?
Right? Like, yeah. Like, there's always going to be something, right?
Always. Always.
Miguel Cotto doesn't know if he
Rojo.
used anything in it, but
Rojo.
you
Rojo.
need to ask him. He's the one that knows. But even if he did, he ain't gonna say he did. So,
And pull
like,
out the iPad.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, man. There's a lot of good ones. Pac Marquez 5. I mean, those guys are just gonna great minds think alike, right?
That's right.
Haplo did it too. That one would always be exciting. Those guys could be 80 years old, fight each other 20 times. That
That's
would
crazy
always be
though.
exciting.
Like 5 times? God damn. Well,
I
what
know.
about Marquez against Morales?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
another one. There's a lot of good ones.
But y'all like Marquez too much. You don't want to see him get his ass whooped. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just gotta leave that one alone. Come
Right
on,
now,
guy.
Marquez will win that fight right now.
Well, Marquez said he
Just
don't
the
got no
inexperience.
legs though. Marquez said he got no legs. That's why he stopped fighting.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So moving on from grudge matches, if we're gonna trust Coppinger's reporting, which that's a big leap to take,
big leap.
Kambosos is likely fighting Lomachenko in June. Lomachenko's manager was on with Mario Lopez and Steve Kim yesterday, and he said that they're willing to go to Australia in March to start training and then stay there after the fight and continue to train for the rematch. I don't know if you caught that because they have to go to Australia earlier due to restrictions.
Right.
They're willing to do it, and they're willing to do the rematch clause.
Oh, wait
And
till I say
it
what I'm
looks
gonna
like they're
say.
going to get the fight. Let's assume that Coppinger's reporting is right and that this is going to go to Lomachenko. What's your initial thoughts on this?
Oh, first of all, does everybody remember last week? Does everybody remember how Devin Haney was talking? Like, oh, I'm the A side, and well, we could do the fight over here in the States. And Bill Haney was like, oh, my son, my son's a star. We could do a fight here. Stop the narrative that it has to be in Australia. It's a narrative. Oh, it's a narrative. A narrative, right? That's how they were talking. Like, oh, I make more money than you, and this and that. Look at my money. I make more money than you ever did. You
More
don't call
Twitter
the
followers.
shots. I got more Twitter followers than you, blah, 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 right? Oh, that's all I heard. But what happened, ladies and gentlemen? What happened? Lomachenko comes out and says, yo, I signed my side of the deal. I'm ready to go, right? No public knowledge or information of how much Lomachenko accepted or what was offered. None of that. Just I'm ready to go, right? Yep. Now Haney's like, oh, I'll take the same thing he's taking. Like, dude, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking? You had first dibs, and you fucked it up, and now you want what he got? What are you talking about? What do you mean, Sam? You didn't want fries when we were ordering fries. You were too good for fries, but now you want to take the fries? There was people that start taking fries from your plate after you asked them if they wanted fries, and they said no. No, I don't want fries. You know, you start eating the fries, and they start taking fries from your plate and stuff. That's Haney, okay? He's over here reaching over for the fries of Loma. You know what I mean? Yo. Get the fucking hand out of the way. You had your shot, brother. You were told multiple times. By the way, I love just boxing fans talking about shit they don't know about. Like, no, the champion needs to send the offers. That's what Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn said. And then, like 2 days later, he makes you look stupid because he said, I just sent the offer over to them. Like, well, I thought he didn't send offers, right? Anybody could send an offer to anybody. There's no rule that says that the challenger or the champion can't send offers to each other, okay? It's the dumbest shit I ever heard. So they did send an offer, but for whatever reason, by the looks of it, the Loma offer is just better, okay? He's got options, dumbass. He doesn't need to pay you $8 million, okay? He doesn't have to do that if he has somebody else he can fight. Now, I don't give a fuck what these fighters make. I'm not pocket watching, okay? But use your common sense. the Haneys were all outpricing themselves and were just being too aggressive in negotiation, right? I mean, they were talking about how talking that the fight could only be in Australia as a non-starter. Says who? Kambosos is a champion, last I checked. All right. He said before the fight, he said, after I win the belt, my first defense will be in Australia. Mm-hmm. So if you're starting with, nah, it doesn't have to be in Australia, though. While you're having that argument, Loma's saying, here's the, here. Sign, motherfucker. I already signed my part. Right? Okay, that's all he tweeted, Calix. All Loma tweeted was, yo, we sent you the offer. We're just waiting for you to sign. That's all he said. So I have no sympathy at all for Devin Haney if he doesn't get this fight. I have no sympathy for him.
I want to focus on this comment real quick. Shout out to Haplo. Shout out to Boxing Historian 206, who's in the chat as well. Two great minds. And I mean that sincerely. What constitutes who's more deserving of the shot? Let's use this case, right?
It's a narrative. That's all that is.
No, but what I'm saying is undisputed is important. Like, it's important. It is very important. So generally, I would say in undisputed matters, and it needs if we got one guy with 3 belts and we got the other guy with the final belt, he's got the Infinity Stone, then you should fight that guy. Generally, I would say that, but there aren't too many cases, I don't think, where there's a better fight out there than the undisputed in that division. And I think this is a case where I like the Lomachenko fight better than the Haney fight from an entertainment standpoint.
Yeah, but the circumstances are normal here, though. This is not a normal circumstance, right?
Explain.
Well, one, this is not the normal one guy has 3 belts and one guy's got 1 belt situation. It's not. It's not like the Canelo Plant situation was. It just isn't. This is a situation where the WBC caused a shitload of confusion, right? The reigning WBC champion was, quote unquote, elevated to franchise, and then he lost the next fight to Teofimo, right? And the sanctioning body that is the WBC recognized Teofimo as undisputed and recognizes Kambosos as undisputed. Now, don't get me wrong, it's the most undisputed.
Yeah, it is.
Undisputed situation of all time, which by definition means it's not undisputed. I'm with everybody with that, right? But in this case, Loma's literally playing, he's the role of the former titleist of 3 of those belts. And he's like, I want my shot, and I beat in 2 legitimate contenders here to earn it. That's what he did. Now, Haney didn't do shit to get his first belt. That's number one. Let's put that out there, okay? Right. I interviewed Roman yesterday, and he said, I wouldn't fucking take it. If they elevated, Stephen Fulton to franchise, no, I wouldn't just accept the WBC belt like that, okay? He accepted a fucking title without beating the champion, okay? So it is what it is. Now, you want to be the first guy to win a vacant belt or some shit like that.
Correct.
But let's put it in perspective, right? What constitutes Haney's position more to me are his win, not the belt. It's the wins over Linares, okay, and Jojo Diaz.
Good wins. Good wins.
They're really good wins. But are they better than Comey and Nakatani? And are they better than the body of work on top of that Loma has put on at lightweight?
Loma beat Linares. Loma beat Linares.
Let me tell you something. They're both up there. Okay, so are you shocked that the one willing to take less money is going to get a shot first?
Let me say this. Either way, I'm happy. Either way, I got to congratulate Kambosos. And you know how I am on this channel. Is resume. Strength of schedule. I like guys who, look, they lose. I don't care as long as they fought the top competition out there, right? That's why I don't mind Loma not being penalized in this case for losing 3 fights ago. All right, because he fought Teofimo Lopez. You got to remember the shutdowns were in full force. They fought in an empty theater. They didn't have to fight then, and they fought. There were no other fighters taking chances at that point. They fought. He lost. But he lost, and he moved on. And that's why I appreciate Lomachenko's career is fought Salido in his second fight. He didn't whine. Well, he did do some whining after. We got to be honest, but he bounced right back the next fight and fought Gary Russell Jr. in his third career fight.
He did. And look, the thing is, here's a point. Here's a simple math, guys. Okay, Devin Haney, right? At least according to DeBella and according to Kambosos' team, was quote unquote outpricing themselves. Like they were asking for too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their argument is, hey, like we're trying to make money too. We can't give all the money to Devin Haney. You know what I mean? And Haney doesn't generate like that. He doesn't, guys. He fights in half-empty arenas. He's not like, who is he to be asking for all the millions he's asking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he has a right to ask for it. He does. But and let's say they would have given it to him. Okay, good for him. But they shouldn't be expected to give him all that money, right? And if Haney was willing to take less money to begin with, why did he wait until the rumors came out that Loma already signed his side to say, quote unquote, I'll take the same offer he's got? All of a sudden, you're willing to take what he's taking.
Mm-hmm.
But who should get it? The one that was willing to take it to begin with? Or the guy that was trying to outprice himself and now is willing to take less? That's how we know he asked for more. Because now he's saying, okay, I'll take what he's got. All right? So that's just the way it is, guys. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this. It's like, imagine like, you ever see the gold digger shows? Like when they get a girl, oh, you're a gold digger, right? Like imagine like you're walking down the street, you ask a girl out, hey, you want to go out? No, get away from me, right? And then you ask the other girl, hey, well, what about you? You want to go out? Sure, I'll do it. And then you walk her to your nice car, a nice Camaro or something. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, wait. I'll go with you. No, well, you didn't want to go with me to begin with. Right? That's Devin Haney. All right? Maybe your pop shouldn't have been talking about how, oh, no, it doesn't have to be in Australia. They have mandates over there. Well, we could do it over here. And while you were doing that, Loma was doing this. Are you ready to fight, Kambosos? Because I'm ready to take those belts. Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'll take less, no problem. Oh, rematch clause? Okay. In Australia, you know what? No problem. Here you go. All right?
What makes me happy here, and I want to elaborate on my point, is I always rail against what I call the no-loss boxing culture. Like losses are no longer acceptable to a lot of people. You lose, you're exposed, and you drop videos on this. Oh my God, he lost a fight. He's exposed. Even if they win a fight and they don't look great doing it, exposed. This exposure culture.
He got hit.
And as long my stance on this has always been, I'll support. I have no, whether it's a nationality thing, I have no, that none of that matters to me. I will support the fighters no matter where they're from, no matter what their complexion is, the guys who fight the toughest fights consistently. So I enjoy the fact that a guy in Lomachenko who has been aggressive with his career, who is willing to give up things on the negotiation table in order to pursue his career, get better fights, gets the fights. I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy seeing a champion like Kambosos who is going to fight Teofimo Lopez, beat him, and then follow it up with a Lomachenko fight. Or if it was a Haney fight, a Haney fight. He's not taking an easy mandatory following up a big win. And I've heard Kambosos talk about that. Like, why are these guys so afraid to lose? Like, if you lose, it's not a big deal. You bounce right back. That's how I see things as a boxing fan. And seeing it that way, how I view it is if more boxing fans saw it that way, we'd get better fights because it wouldn't be the end of the world if a guy loses a fight. So I enjoy seeing Lomachenko get rewarded for this fight. He lost his Teofimo. He bounced back against Nakatani Komi, and he's going to get Kambosos. But he's willing to go to Australia to do it. This is the third continent he's going to fight on. All right, so I'm tired of seeing spoiled American fighters too, right? It's like guys come over from across the pond. They come to fight America. They come to train here. They're making sacrifices, and these American fighters, they're fighting in America. They're fighting close to home. They're not fighting great competition for the most part. So I don't mind seeing this guy get another good fight and going to Australia to do it. And props to Kambosos, um, props to Lomachenko. And if Devin Haney does somehow pull this off and get the fight, props to him. But right now, it doesn't look like he's getting that fight. I'm just glad we're getting a great fight here.
Plus, one more thing. Boxing is a sport that just keeps cycling, right? So it's not like this, guys. It's not like it doesn't have a season like the NFL. Like only one team can make it to that Super Bowl, or it's like you're screwing the team out of not making the Super Bowl or something. No, like in boxing, Haney could always get the winner. You know what I mean? It's not like Haney's time is done, or he can't. It's time for Haney to maybe he needs to get a little more aggressive and make some of these fights happen, right? Mm-hmm. So like everyone needs to calm down a little bit, in my opinion. Haney's opportunity to prove himself as one of the top guys will come. Okay, there's no rule that says it has to be next. You know what I mean? There's no rule that says that, like, at all. Like, his time will come, but like if he outpriced himself and Loma got the fight, then it's on him.
The good thing about this, lastly, is if Kambosos fights Lomachenko, the winner, we know, has a track record of fighting other top guys in the division. A lot of these younger guys in 135 don't have that track record yet. Haney had good wins in 2021. Does he have a top 5 win yet? Tank Davis, what about him? What about Ryan Garcia? These guys don't have the big wins yet to back up them being elite fighters. And they don't have a track record of, okay, if this guy gets all the belts, is he just going to hold up the division? Are we going to get the best fights at 135? And on top of that, I trust that Kambosos and Lomachenko will be at 135 for a while. I can't say the same about Haney, who seems to be busting at the seams and wants to move up to 140 anyway. So I want to see a champion who's going to stay at 135 for a while and take on all comers. And it looks like we're going to get a champion like that if Lomachenko and Kambosos fight each other. Too bad rematch clauses are plaguing boxing, but it could be worse, right? As long as we get the fight we want, I guess if a rematch clause comes with it, I guess we got to deal with it. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Top 11 Impact Power Rankings. Last week we had Canelo number 1, Tyson Fury number 2, Usyk number 3, Eddie Hearn number 4, Katie Taylor number 5, Josh Taylor number 6, Bam Rodriguez catapulted up to number 7, Inoue number 8, Arum number 9, Bob Arum, Terrence Crawford number 10, and Jake Paul number 11. Now, nothing's really happened this week in the boxing world for anybody to get bumped off, in my opinion. I mean, you got news of Lomachenko and Kambosos. You got news of Golovkin possibly fighting Murata in April, that fight being back on, and then possibly getting a Canelo fight in September. You got a lot of possibles based off of Mike Coppinger reporting, but we can't go off of that. Nothing's been announced yet. So in my opinion, we got to keep the rankings the same this week. Do you agree?
I agree. Nothing impactful really happened. So there's just some pending information, but nothing's really changing.
Yeah. And look, I agree with what Haplo is saying here, but if Haney doesn't get this fight, I'm not heartbroken because Lomachenko, to me, is the better fight. It's a more entertaining fight, but Kambosos Haney is entertaining too. I like that matchup as well. So either way, we can't go wrong if that's what we're getting. And I guess my point with Kambosos is if it's Lomachenko and Haney he's deciding on for his next fight, credit to him. I love that because both fights are tough fights. And both fights, quite honestly, I might pick against them. I think I might pick Haney over Kambosos. I'm definitely picking Lomachenko over Kambosos. So he's going to be the underdog again, regardless, even in his home country. But I love that fight. Listening in my union meeting. Shout out to G Funky, the black sheep of the HCP. G Funky is moonlighting. That is correct. But we're going to get to boxing trivia to finish this thing off. Run PMC's in the building. I saw the GOAT Mario P in the building earlier. And Lil Penny is not in the building, but Lil Penny told me that they wouldn't be able to make it a couple days ago, so that's not surprising. Jermel versus Castano. I'm hearing conflicting reports about that fight being on, not being on. So we'll see what's going on with that. I don't think any news has officially broken on that. I love that rematch. I hope it goes down. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I hope that fight is still on. Hearing conflicting reports. But let's get to question number 1. And get live. Make sure you're live. Make sure you are live. That's the big. And we got 6 questions this week. 6 questions. So let's get to number 1. And we were speaking about this fighter earlier, fighting on Saturday. In 2016, Amir Khan fought Canelo Alvarez. In the fight prior to Canelo Alvarez fight, which fighter did Khan fight and defeat for the WBC silver welterweight title? This was before the Canelo fight, right before, the fight before, and it was for the WBC silver welterweight title. You're on the clock. Do, 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 do. It's Amir Khan, ladies and gentlemen. Do, 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 do. I got nobody so far. Do, do, do. There it is. Run PMC got it. Chris Algieri. He defeated Chris Algieri by unanimous decision for the WBC silver welterweight title. We got Run PMC on the board with 1. I have a feeling Run PMC is going to get his titles back. It was not Zab Judah.
No.
It was not Zab Judah. So Chris Algieri. Algieri stunned him early in that one. That is correct. All right. In 2008, this is question number 2. In 2008, an undefeated Amir Khan was knocked out by what undefeated fighter? 2008. Amir Khan suffered his first loss in this fight. He was knocked out in like 20 seconds. Shocking. Might have been 50 seconds, something like that, but he was shockingly knocked out in this fight.
Got it again.
Did he? He sure did. Run PMC is on the board again.
He even said it twice, like Prescott. Greatest. Prescott.
Greatest Prescott. That was one of the most shocking developments in modern boxing right there. Right. Everybody was expecting Amir Khan to just beat this unknown 19-0 guy, and then it didn't happen that way. And that's why we follow boxing. That's why we follow boxing. Run PMC has 2 on the board. And make sure you guys get live. All right? All right, so this is this fighter. We're going to call this fighter. And you did one of these last week with your Ring magazine. We're going to do 4 of these. I'm just going to name some facts and accomplishments from this fighter without saying the fighter's name. And the first person to get it gets the question right. I'm just going to name some facts, records, stuff like that. How many knockouts. And you name the fighter first and you get it. All right, here we go. This fighter had a record of 69-6. 69-6. 44 of those 69 wins were by knockout. 44 knockouts. This fighter participated in the heavyweight division. This fighter was 6'3". This fighter had 1 knockout loss in their career. The knockout loss was to Mike Tyson. Heavyweight knockout loss was to Mike Tyson. 69-6, 44 were by KO. This fighter suffered 3 straight defeats. 2 of those defeats were to Michael Spinks. The other was to Mike Tyson. Somebody should have this by now.
Run PMC just got it.
Run PMC got it again. Larry Holmes was the answer. And Larry Holmes also lost to Holyfield and Oliver McCall. So Run PMC has 3. Larry Holmes was the correct answer.
Man.
All right. So here we go again. This one
Well,
should
what
be
happens
easier.
to the champ is here? What's going on over here?
The GOAT Mario Peanut might not be in the building. I don't know.
The
But
champ
question
is
number
not here.
4. Question number 4. If Run PMC gets this, he gets the sweep. And this one should be easier. It's more current. This fighter was 46-3 with 35 KOs. This fighter competed in the super middleweight division. This fighter was defeated by Carl Froch and also beat Carl Froch.
I don't know who it is.
This fighter participated in the Super 6. This fighter was defeated by Andre Ward. We got anybody yet?
Run PMC. Run PMC got it.
Run PMC again. I'm behind you.
Yeah, Run PMC got it.
Run PMC got it. It was Mikkel Kessler. Mikkel Kessler beat Froch, also lost to Froch. Mikkel Kessler lost to Andre Ward.
He exchanged wins and losses with Carl Froch. He still participated in the Super 6. That there should have revealed it all, but
Yeah. So question number 5. Let's just keep going with it. This fighter was 47. This fighter is still active, and this fighter fights next month. 47, 16, and 1 is their career record. Began his career back in 1997. So this fighter has been fighting for 25 years, still active. This fighter fights out of Melbourne, Australia. Haplo's way behind. Haplo, you got to get live. Haplo's still on question number 3. This fighter lost to Winky Wright. This fighter also lost to Jermaine Taylor. This fighter also lost to Saki Obika. Fighting out of Melbourne, Australia. Keep that in mind. This fighter also lost to Derevyanchenko. This fighter also defeated Felix Sturm. So I'm going to give y'all about a minute to try to figure this out. There it is. Run PMC got it again. Run PMC is an animal.
You know who I thought you were talking about first?
Who's that?
Mundine. I don't know why. Mundine was in my mind. But I was
I think he fought Mundine too.
Yeah.
This guy fought, Sam Solomon fought everybody, and he's still fighting. He's an animal.
He's Solomon, you know what I mean?
And Haplo almost got it. Sam, what's his face?
Well, Haplo might have a shot if it was live. You know what I mean?
If Haplo was live, he'd have a shot. Shout out to Maestro in the building. And the last question, just for kicks, because Run PMC, let's see if Run PMC can sweep this. Somebody try to stop the sweep here, all right? This fighter,
a perfect game. What's going on over here,
He's pitching a shutout. This fighter, 34-3, 30 KOs, not active, inactive fighter. His last fight was in 2020. He has 3 KO losses. All 3 of his losses were by KO. He began his career in 2001. So he had a 19 and 20 year career. Fought out of the great state of Texas. Was a southpaw. He was trained, this should give it away. He was trained by a former female world champion.
I know who you're talking about.
Lost to Canelo. Defeated Alfredo Angulo. And I'm going to stop there because y'all should have it right now. And
he got it.
Yep. Run PMC got the sweep.
You know what we're going to have to do? This is what we're going to have to do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going to have to do it because this is crazy right now. I'm just telling you right now. This is some crazy ass shit. And let me just tell you something right now. Okay? So on Monday, I think Run PMC should jump on the panel and try to beat me. I think is what he should try to do.
Woo!
Like I think that's what needs to happen.
Does Run PMC want to accept that offer for the pound for pound championship? And Run PMC.
Now, I'm not saying I would win. I'm not saying like I'm not going to get shut out. That I know, right? Because when the goat's not around, right? He just dominates, and I'm looking at this, and I know how these old school fighters feel when they watch these new boxers dominate. It's like I can beat them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so if I think we need to do that, I'm gonna set that up, and Run PMC has my word that I will not give these style of questions before. I will not give these style of questions before. And by the way, also, D-Style will have to type in the answer. He can't word it out just to make things even.
No, but like he could come on the panel. He could come on live.
Yeah, true.
Whoever says it first.
Let's do that. Run PMC can come on live, and we can do a battle, a versus battle. All right, so I will try to set that up for Monday show.
If he wants. If he wants. You know what I mean?
If Run PMC wants to step up to the table. If he doesn't, then we'll have to say that he's not necessarily a worthy champion here. And by the way, I hope this isn't true. Looks like Castaño versus Charlo
wouldn't the right thing to say would be it's postponed? Right? Yeah. I mean, what did he tear his ACL or what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
let's hope not. On that note, final thoughts, D-Style?
I want everybody to tune in tomorrow, the Roundtable Maestro A Boxing. It's going to be great. So everybody here right now, write it down on your calendar. Tomorrow, Maestro A Boxing. We're going to be doing the Roundtable every Thursday. It rotates on my channel, Maestro A, and Ringside Reporter. All right. It is the flagship show of HCP, so make sure you guys definitely tune in for that one. And Power Punchers will be back on Mondays, okay? We'll be back on Mondays starting Monday.
And see you guys Monday. We're signing off. God bless. Peace.